Um, and inside of that app data, if you go to local, you'll see a folder called Android. And inside Android, there's an SDK folder. So this is your path. So this is the path you will be putting as Android home. Everyone clear with that? I assume most of us have done this. If anyone hasn't, okay, cool. Uh, After that, in your path over here, your system variables, if you go to your path, you would need to set up these two paths. Your Node.js will automatically create a path for you, but these two paths you would need to create. So, oops. So if you don't have these set up, number one, you won't get the package pop up. So once you add these two, the package pop-up should automatically come up. So that's one of the reason why your packages don't pop up. So have these in your path, and the next thing is your if you go to your Appium. Now I assume everybody has Appium installed as well, or does someone not have it installed? Appium, whatever you want to call it. Where is it? There you go. Okay, so the other reason was now let me show you. If I am to choose and download, right? I assume I have an app here. You see, I don't have any packages popping up. So that has to do with the app name. You see how it is Grubhub food delivery takeout version 6.17 blah blah blah. It's a long name. So if I were to go to that file, oh, what else? Then honestly, I'm lost. Then he probably does. He have Node.js installed? Somebody has their hands up. Alex, you're unmuted. Alex, yeah, you're unmuted.
Can I share my screen real quick?
Sure. Let me just do that.
I really appreciate it because Appium is like confusing for me. Like the
Yes.
actually, you did a great job of explaining everything in the first part. Like you literally covered I think everything that we did. But okay,
Yeah. Okay. I think you're the presenter now. Yep. There you go.
okay. So basically, um, like so I'm having trouble. Oh, so I changed the name of so New York Post is right there, but then when I click this, like nothing comes up right there.
Let's see.
But I was looking at my
Okay.
environmental view.
Do this.
Uh,
Go to the path and name it NY Post instead of NYP. NY Post. Go to that directory. So see data Android apps. Yeah, rename that to still not popping up. Huh, that's interesting.
but can you check to see if both of my
Environment variables. Yeah.
where do I go here to like I forget.
Oh, you need to if you go to in your system variables down there, if you go to path, if you scroll up a bit, you see the path right there. There you go. Edit.
Uh, so I have
And
both. Right.
yeah, no, actually, it should be platform tools. So you're missing one.
Okay.
Here, so I think I posted the link in the chat.
Yeah.
Yeah, so add that one too. The one that says
That right?
Yep. No, not that one. You already have tools. I believe it's platform tools. The other one.
Oh.
The first one, yeah. Okay. Interpolate.
Okay, here.
Wait, where's the percentage missing? Oh, for build tools? But do we even need build tools? I don't have build tools in my environment variables. I don't have build tools in my environment variables. Oh, yeah, remove the build tools.
So I don't need this right here?
Yeah, you don't need that. Or actually leave it and put a percentage sign in front of home.
So, very quickly, can you explain like what path is? Like this system variables, and then I have to scroll
Okay,
down to path.
so the system variables, essentially, it's setting up a path for you for your command prompt to actually access those. So if you open up your command prompt,
Okay. I changed the
and,
color on it, but
okay, that's fine. And if you were to type in Android with this Android and with the space AVD.
so I'm able to open this because of my path, right?
Right, you don't have to navigate to that folder. So, if you didn't have the environment variable set up, yeah, anywhere. So if you didn't have your environment variable set up, you would have to navigate to that folder first, then you would have to type in Android AVD.
Okay, gotcha. Okay.
I believe that's the main purpose. Or you could type percentage Android home underscore 1% in your Explorer, and it should open that folder. So basically, it's like storing your folder path inside of the. So
Oh, that's really cool, but it says that it's not recognized as an internal or external. Why doesn't it work for
I
me? Do you
believe you
know?
type in CD before that. CD.
Oh, that's what it is. Yeah, I see that. Cool. Oh
Now
my
you have
gosh.
it there. Yep.
I now understand why it's in this format too.
Yep. Yep. So you're navigating to that folder, and it's a system variable.
Wait, so where are platform tools? Where is it like the path?
It's in that folder. So if you open, you can if you go to your directory, like graphically, if you open it up, yeah, and you should restart Appium too after that. So if you go to users, I believe, if you go to your users document, there you go, and Alex underscore 000, I think that's the one. And you see the app data folder? It's under Android Studio projects right there. Go to local, and if you open up Android, SDK, so you see your platform tools and your build tools and everything are here, and your tools.
Oh, I see. Okay.
And if you go, I believe if you go to your platform tools, I forgot which one the Android is in. It's I think go open up platform tools. No, go to local. Go back there and open up platform tools. No, that's
Yep,
ADB. So
I'm there.
if you go back and open up tools, I think it's in the tools. So yeah, whatever is inside of these folders, you can actually you can access them. You see Android.bat.
Yep.
So the command we used earlier lets us, open this Android over here. And
Oh,
yep. So Android space AVD would open up Android. AVD was what? Android virtual device.
okay. Which is the same thing as running this bat file, right? This batch file.
I think it's a command you would send to this batch file because this batch, I'm not sure. I had never tried opening this manually.
Uh-huh.
But and
I
then
see.
sending an
Right.
argument. Yep.
Okay. So now that I have this path,
Now
I should have.
you should close Appium and then relaunch it.
Okay. So now I should get the. No, it's not working.
Oh, did you close Appium?
Yeah, I
Oh,
did.
you just relaunched it?
Yeah. So I just closed it right now. It's closed. Now let me relaunch it. But the paths still, like the menus still aren't there
Oh,
for some reason.
let's see. You did install Node.js, right?
Um, I don't think I did that actually. Do I need to do that as well?
I I'm not sure, but I don't think you need to, right? Okay. Open up Appium, or is it taking time?
Wait, let me try it one more time. Okay.
And go back. Oh, it's still not doing it. Choose the Android APK again. So choose and oh, it's very interesting. What else could we do? Hmm. Have you tried opening another app besides this? It
No, I
might be
haven't.
that. Yeah, try opening up a different app. So do
Okay.
you have his project downloaded?
What's
Uh,
that?
he has a here. Let me send you the link.
See, the thing with the Appium is that when we were going over that in class, I didn't even know that we were gonna learn that. So when I kind of like did wasn't really paying attention because I thought this was just like something extra that he wanted us to know.
I thought so too, but I mean, we didn't really install it for Windows either. Uh,
Yeah,
here,
so I wasn't really like paying attention. I wasn't really trying to get it installed. I was like, oh whatever, because I'm going to be doing Selenium. I don't
right.
need Appium until I'm like more experienced or whatever.
You and so many. Yeah, that's true. A lot of people still. There are a lot of people who haven't even bothered installing Appium. I was not going to bother either, but then Bilal came up with a mentoring session, and he was able to run. He was able to run his Appium, and then I was like, okay, I have to do it too now. So I followed Bilal's mentoring, and then we were able to do it.
Yeah, but then today he sent out in the chats. He said that he wants us to present both Selenium and Appium. So I was like, oh crap, I gotta get this installed.
Uh,
Um,
you can clone
so
this repository. So if you click on clone or download,
oh right okay.
yep, and you could just copy this and use your Git bash.
Okay. Um,
Uh,
can I put it in my media?
so you can navigate to whichever folder you want to idea projects, right? Yep.
Okay. Let's git clone. Oh shoot. Okay. Hold on.
Oh, you already have it then. You already have it.
No, I don't. I don't. It's just for some reason. Actually, wait. Maybe I do have it. Hold on.
Yeah, it says the path Venus already exists.
Um, maybe I do have it. But I mean, I was trying to get Appium. I was kind of interested in Appium, but I was more concentrating on the other one.
Um,
And but then
Honestly, if you were to just, I would like that's the one time you would hear me saying, it's better to get a Mac for this, uh, over
oops.
Windows. Even if you get it running, it's still a huge pain.
Did you just see that? I accidentally moved one of my folders. Oh my gosh.
Oh, so you do have it, right?
Yeah, I do have it, but I think I moved one of the folders. Hold on. Um, yeah,
Oh shoot. Was I to record it?
what's that?
Oh no. Oh shoot. I just started recording it. No, I can record it too. It says start recording button over here, but I don't know where it gets saved. Does it get saved locally? Bilal? Actually, Bilal, I think I have you unmuted too, so if you wanna talk, let's.
Yeah, Paul is our recording guy.
Apologies are recording. Oh, so it
Yeah.
saves locally? Oh shoot. I didn't know that. I would have I would have recorded it.
Hey, I'm gonna download it one more time real quick.
Oh, actually, you don't need the whole project. I just want you to grab the app. So open up your Appium.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I just so open up your Appium and no, not this path. So go to your Appium. Go to your Appium.
Wait, hold on. Let me put this back real quick. Just because.
Oh, sure. Oh, you.
Okay, so it's right here.
Okay, so go to Venus and check in the Android folder. There should be so go to source and app. Under app, is there an app? Okay, yeah. So these should be good. So open up your Appium. No, open up your Appium and navigate to this path over here.
Source. Is there one that's better? What's that?
Anyone doesn't matter. Now check. There you go.
Oh, there we go. It like autofilled. So why wasn't the other one working?
Can you manually navigate to that? Where was the other app?
The other one is in a folder on the C drive called. I just created a folder called Data, and then I have Android apps, and I just had one app here.
You see, it's not. You see the name? It's. I don't see. Why is it like that? Rename it here. Rename it here, and then try opening that. Call it
Wait
just
a
NY
second.
Post. NY Post.
Hey Furqan,
It's like,
is this the same version that you're using? Maybe it's something wrong with the APK.
That is the same version I'm using. But I just see it wasn't renamed. Like I just saw it. It wasn't renamed. I
That's
don't know
in a
what.
different folder.
Oh, so data and red apps. Now let's see. No, it's
no,
not.
it's still not. It's still being
I'm
weird.
using. I am using that version. It's very interesting. So it has to do with the app itself.
Yeah, maybe I just need
It's
to like.
possible that from where he downloaded it, I mean, the way they may have packaged it, or the way they have downloaded it or cracked it or something. That must have messed up with something. So I mean, you can perhaps Alex, you can perhaps download it from his repository. Maybe. Do you have it over there, Furqan?
Oh, yes, I should have it. Actually, I might just upload. So I created like a small framework yesterday for the New York app, the New York Post app. So let me just create a repository and I'll push that framework. So actually, no, it should be on my GitHub. So one second. One second. Let me check here. I have New York Post here. Yes, I do. So let me push this code, and you'll be able to grab that app from here. So one second.
Okay, so New York Post is right there. So is there a way
Yeah.
to?
No, I'm pushing my code to a repository. Why is it taking so long? Oh, I need to commit. Ah, shoot, I forgot.
Okay, so this works now that I have a different app. Um,
Yeah.
so what else is this like all set, configured?
This is all set for now for just Appium. So if you were to if you click on that play button.
Okay.
Oh shoot, you don't have an Android emulator yet, do you?
No, I do. I have a
Oh,
Nexus.
yeah, okay, so you need to launch that first, and we still need to configure some other things. Totally forgot about that. Um,
So how do you do that?
so okay, so if you open up your command line,
Okay. Well, I was showing this earlier, but okay. So and then
and type in Android AVD. So, or you could do that. But is it configured already? Is it configured and everything?
Yeah.
Oh, it is. Okay, so then yeah, then type in the command he's typing. What's that again? Emulator dash avd nexus.
Okay.
Okay, unknown error. Okay, that should be good.
Okay, so this is my emulator of my phone, right?
Yeah, this is your, yep. So this is the device it will be grabbing when it runs test or when it runs an app. Go back to Appium and click on that little Android man. I mean the Android icon. And from here, uncheck launch AVD. It should be launch device. If you see, yeah, uncheck. There you go.
And then, so I'm gonna have the emulator here. What does this play button do then? Node server.
Uh, okay. So this play button is going to execute. It's going to run whatever app you have selected in your Android. It's going to launch. Technically, it's supposed to launch your Android virtual device and then run the app. But for some reason, the one on Windows doesn't. I think Bilal was saying that in Android Studios, some right, and listening for
Oh,
commands. So in Android 2, I forgot the name, but the latest version of Android SDK, Android Studio 2, right? Um, there's some issue with the device's name. So even though it launches it, it doesn't recognize the device. So it'll keep on giving you an error over and over again.
oh, I see.
Um, ADB device. So now you have that. Try running it. I assume you have Google Play services too, right? Okay. Yeah. So run it and wait for when it says console. So log no color. So just wait a little bit.
So where do I actually like code? Like
Oh,
so
you'll
once
code
I
in
run,
IntelliJ. You can code in IntelliJ. In IntelliJ.
so basically like once I get the app running on my emulator, um, I have to open up. Yeah, exactly. So basically, I have to open up Android Studio to like it's just so confusing this whole Appium thing.
Actually, okay. So let's run the app first, then we'll go step by step how to actually emulate, how
Okay.
to actually run the test. So open up your Appium. Uh,
So is it still loading
so
or?
stop. Yeah, stop it and run it again. Stop it and run it again. First couple of times, it usually doesn't go to debug mode.
Oh yeah, because I'm on Windows. I forgot.
A simple
Man, it
test.
really is.
I could show a simple test from scratch. I just hope it doesn't fail me like last time. Mm.
It doesn't seem to be doing anything, or is it still loading?
It's supposed to show you another message after this, and then you can run the inspector. But it's not. So run the inspector, the magnifying glass.
Uh,
You see the magnifying glass. So yeah, after this, I'm gonna run and click on refresh. It's attempting to connect. Yeah.
so this thing seems just to be sitting here.
Yeah, it's not going beyond that first point. Actually, you might want to like just click on play and leave it there for a while because I remember the first time for me it took a very long while before I actually did anything. So
Uh,
stop it and it actually sometimes takes a very long while. For I have no idea why. Oh, it
uh,
said processes and no, that's because I think he stopped it, didn't he?
yeah,
No,
I
did
stopped
that
it myself.
or did it appear before that? So let me switch over to my screen and let me show how it's like how it's normally supposed to run. So I'm gonna switch the presenter
Okay.
here. Let's see how to do that.
Hey, by the way, my Appium did something after we switched screens.
Oh, what did it say? Like console debug something?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Okay, now click on the inspector. Click on the inspector and press refresh.
Attempting to connect to Appium and a whole bunch
Yeah,
of
just
stuff on
wait.
Appium.
If something happens, it's gonna say updating or something like that. I believe it says updating.
Okay. This is kind of cool though. I'm not gonna lie. It's like I don't know. It's interesting.
Oh, it is. I just wish it run like properly on
Yeah. Me too.
Windows. So where's my um, shoot? What's my framework name? Hey, it's not the Mac. It's about Appium making things better for Mac compared to Windows. Shoot, where's my project? Because who knows? Maybe they're in cahoots with them. Workspace, go. There you go. Oh shoot, it actually opened. No wonder why I wasn't able to open it. It's right here. Okay. Alright. So you have New York Post here. So I'm actually running New York Post. Let's switch over to GrubHub. So- Oh, okay. That's perfect. Then you're good to go at least Appium wise. So let me change this here to. Yeah, that's a good point, Salma. Maybe that's the issue. Uh, okay. Um, Let me see if it runs. I don't know. Sometimes it just gives up on me. So let's change to let's choose and go to where is it? Okay, so it's picking up everything. Let's play. Um, Once you click on play, after this message, device name, log no color, you have to wait till it says something regarding console info debug. Let me just wait. All right, I actually didn't show you guys the. I think I have it. So my Android DVD is running. So let me stop this and see this again. Um, Herman, you're unmuted. If you want to ask a question, you can ask directly. So the properties for your emulator. Um, so the device is Nexus 5, and the target Android API should be 5.0.1. Um, so when you're creating a new virtual device, this you can choose whatever AVD name you need, you want to name it, and then the device will be Nexus 5. Target would be API level 21, so it would be Android 5.0.1. And the CPU you would be choosing is Google's API, Intel Atom 86. You don't need any skin. You can use the emulated webcam, and the back camera is also emulated. I wouldn't recommend changing the RAM size. You could increase it if you want, but I'm not sure if it's going to run any faster. I haven't tried it. Um, that's about all. That's about all to actually get the emulator settings. That's about it. You don't need to add anything in my. Oh, Nexus 4 works better. I haven't tried that. I should. Even though I call this N4, this is actually a Nexus 5. So Herman, Herman, you can ask directly. You're unmuted. So if you need, do you need help with which device to create? Like, if I can go over that, that's fine. Can't, can't. Oh, you can't talk. I mean, just type it out. I don't see your messages. Anyone else too? If you guys still have any issues with devices, how to create the devices, um, so you see when it says on info console log level debug, whenever this message pops up, you can open up the inspector and refresh this. And it'll say attempting to connect to Appium, and you can see it starts a bunch of processes in the background. At the same time, open up your Android device on the same screen, which is right here. And if there's no issues, it'll open up the app. If there are issues, then the app won't open, obviously. But from what I see, it's giving me something. After this, it should probably run. So you see on the side, if you take a look at the emulator, it should start probably running the Grubhub app. So it's updating now, and there you go. It's running the Grubhub app in the background. Now, initially it'll only show, since it's very slow, it'll only show like the first refreshing screen. So you have to refresh this again, and it'll grab you the newest screen. So as you can see, you have this layout over here. So this is what's terrible about the Android Inspector in Windows, is that it doesn't give you the XPath directly. That's one. Two is that you can't touch any elements. So you have to kind of figure it out using this right here, what exactly is what. That's two. And three is that you're technically supposed to tap them. You see the tap? Oh wait, it actually worked. Interesting. Anyway, you can put ny post if you just type in ny post. I'm gonna push the code to my Grubhub. So if you're having issues with the app, here git add. Oh, come on. -m. Added my post. So after a while, if it says if it doesn't see you doing anything with the inspector, it'll close down the app. We shut down because no new commands came in. I think it's here. 90-second timeout. Okay, here. So if you take a look at this NY Post, and if you go to the NY Post app, that's the app I'm using, and it works perfectly fine. So I'll post the link here, and if you just navigate to the NY Post module, and you see the NY Post app, you can download the APK from here, and another package showed up. Wow. So it's probably because you renamed it to NYP. I believe it has to be the app's name. I'm not sure why that happens, but it has to be the app's name. It might be because of how the app is set up. So you know how the app contains a bunch of things inside of it, so it might have to do with it recognizing what the app's package is doing. So if you open up the app, for instance, I have this Grubhub app, right? So I have a bunch of things inside of this. So it might have the package name might be name is whatever, but don't include periods. Maybe that's the case. Maybe that's the case. But she had it named NYP. That's what she's saying. So it still wasn't appearing. NYP, comma NYP. What is the name for NYP? NYP. Don't include periods. Yeah, the periods might cause issue as well. So either way. So let's try running. So how does it? How do you run? How do you run? So now that we know how to run the app, how do we run it through IntelliJ? So what you have to do is close. Well, you can just close the inspector. Um, let's stop this and let's run it. So one thing you need to do is run Appium, and make sure this message pops up. Actually, if you're gonna run it through IntelliJ, it doesn't matter if this pops up, but this should pop up regardless. Otherwise, it's not gonna run anyway. So once you have this, you don't need to open up the inspector or anything. You just go to your code. I'm running Grubhub. I am running Grubhub, and you go to your runner, and you just run your runner. I mean, just execute your runner, and it should open up the app. So a prerequisite for this is that you have your Android emulator open and you have you have the Appium started. So that's the only two prerequisites, and then once you run it here, I hope I don't get any errors. You will start seeing a bunch of code. You see, there you go. That means now your IntelliJ is sending in commands to the Appium. It's accessing the Appium driver. But send shutdown command waiting for UI automator to stop, so it's not gonna run. So that's a huge issue I had to tackle, is that it just sometimes it runs, sometimes it doesn't run. Let me see here. So far I haven't been shown. It doesn't work from. What doesn't work for Mac? For Mac, you never get an issue. It does run for app. So let me close this ADB, and let me try running it again. Please run. Oh, actually, I need to. Yeah, it will. I'm not sure about that, so it's giving me the same error. um, Send shutdown command waiting for you. So I haven't been able to show even once. Let me close this. Let me close a bunch of different things. So what happens is that if you restart your computer, it'll run fine. But then once you run Appium, it runs. You keep running it, but then eventually it'll still give you a same error. Let me close this, and okay, let's try running it again. Honestly, in the beginning, this wasn't happening, but later on, I don't know what happened, but it started giving me errors. So using Grubhub, let's try this. It's not GUI. It's not. I believe it's not GUI for Windows, but it's GUI for Mac. Or no? So how come you guys have a better Appium inspector using the old version? That makes no sense. See, it's not running. What the heck is that? Oh, and use 1.5.3 inspector. But I would have to install the other. I would have to install it from Node.js first. I haven't done that through npm. Yeah. So yeah, I don't know why this happens, but if I were to restart my computer and run it, this would start working fine. What to do here? I was gonna demonstrate. What if I change the app? Will it run? Post. Maybe it has to do with that. I don't know. And my post. Honestly, though, it's not worth the headache. You running this on Windows, but you know, since he asked us to create a framework, at the minimum we can. At the minimum, we can at least create the framework, even if it doesn't run the app, because it's not going to run all the time. It just crashes at times. Let's see. I can run it from here. So let's go to test. Oh, wait, I need to change this in let's stop this and you see NY post work. So it might have to do be something with the Grubhub app. So I think I only created a very simple method of accessing the menu and clicking on the top stories. And once you click on it, it's gonna stop running. So it might have to do with the application package. It might just go corrupt, but that makes no sense because it runs through the inspector. So how am I doing? What am I doing? So if I go to the main and Java and homepage, right? So now that's the thing in Windows. If you were to try to inspect an element, you can't. Doing it through the Appium inspector is a real hassle. So if you open up your command and just type in UI Automator Viewer. Now this is a tool that comes with the Android SDK. Did it not open? There you go. So it's called UI Automator Viewer. If you are having a hard time running it in command, although you shouldn't if you have everything set up right, if you go to your C users, localhost, app data, local, Android, and SDK, I believe in platform tools, or not in platform tools, in your tools, you should be able to find it down here, UI Automator Viewer. So what does this do? Now, how did I grab these elements over here? If you are to open up your here to open up your virtual device, and you manually open up the app, right? So New York Post should be on the second page. It's right here. So if you open up the app, New York Post, let's go back. Whoops. Let me close this. Okay, so I'm not sure if that's the home page. I believe that's the home page. If you are to click on the second icon here that says device screenshot, and you take a snapshot, anything that's native to the app, you'll be able to inspect it over here. You know, except the buttons inside the emulator, obviously. So, for instance, this right here, you can inspect the elements down here. So, how would you access this? How would you access this? So, this doesn't have a resource ID. This has only a class, and that's about it. So how would you click on this? So that's the main difference between the Appium inspector and the Windows useless Appium inspector, is that it generates an XPath for you. This you would have to manually generate an XPath. How? If you click on the image button, right? So this is the button you're trying to click. So to make an XPath for it, you would have to you'd have to go to one step behind it, which would be in the view. Under view, you get the image button, right? Which is the button you're trying to click. So you click on view, and then you take the class. It's called android.view.view. So you copy it, and then you paste it here, and you add 2 forward slashes before it, and you add this 1 in inside brackets, because it has a 1 right next to it. So if you were to yeah, so that would be the one here. Now, image button is what you want to click, right? And you grab the class name here, and you add a forward slash, and you paste it right next to it. And then you add a 1 to that too. Why 1? Because this is 1. This is only element. So it doesn't start at index 0, it starts at index 1. If you do index 0, this won't work. So it starts from 1, 2, 3, 4, and so on. So same way if you want to, well, you can't really click on the relative. That's how XPath works, that's why. Okay. Oh, right. It's not like an array index, you know, it's like it starts from 0, it starts from 1, right? So that's basically how you would grab the XPath. Now, the difference between Mac and Windows is that the Mac Appium inspector allows you to grab the XPath directly. You don't need to go through this whole process. That's why the best solution for Windows user would be to use the resource ID if it's unique, or the text name if it's unique. But for icons like this, you don't even have a resource ID, nor do you have a name. So how? Yeah, no, I wasn't able to. I don't know if I were to do it inside of here, would it work? This is the XPath for that button, so I'm not sure. I didn't try it, not for this at least, but it didn't work for the Grubhub one. So Grubhub has the same menu button here, but it's not. If I were to grab all the contents into a list, it does not store anything. It stores like one element, and I'm not sure what that element is, because when you try to click it, I don't know what it does. It just gives you an error. So after grabbing that button right here, up here, I'm just clicking on it, and then after clicking that, you get to this part right here, and then let's take a screenshot of that. Now, from here, you have these bunch of elements you can click on, right? So if you want to click on top stories, for instance, well, you could just use this text, top stories. It does not have a unique resource ID because if you were to compare it to the others, the others also have the same. Not necessarily, actually. Well, this one does at least. See how it says slug name underscore text view, and this also has the same resource ID. So if you were to click on here, let me see. Relative layout. This view. Oh, really? Okay, let me save that so I can use this. Okay. Okay. Um, actually, let me try doing that. So this is supposed to save all the elements inside the menu, right? So not all what you can see now. Okay, all of these to media. Okay. But did you get it from your Appium inspector or did you generate this? I mean, did you get it yourself? Oh, the X at the end? Where? Oh, one. Oh, okay, okay. So Android. To all by remove. Okay, I see what you mean. Yeah, yeah, yeah. So this way you'll be grabbing all the elements. I'm just trying to figure out how. Okay, so this is it, right? Relative layout. Android widget relative layout, which is this, and it's under list view. Oh no, no, it's here. Okay, I see right here. So Android widget list view, and then underneath that, oh, okay, okay, there you go. So you can still grab the XPath, but you would have to generate it manually. It's not that hard, but all those are relative layouts. Yeah, yeah. Okay, I see it's right here. So business as well, metro as well, um, all the way to media down there. There you go. So I'm not mentioning the index will give me all of those. So people using Windows, any questions so far? Same for your GitHub. Okay. Okay. So for the XPath, you would have to manually take a look into it. If you can, I would avoid XPath on using Windows because you'd be spending a lot of time on it. Especially if this starts, becoming even larger. Like if it becomes, I mean, I don't think it probably will get any bigger than this, but if this kind of like confuses you, I would recommend, creating separate elements for these. Where can I buy? It's true. Or you could actually get a VMware. I mean, a virtual machine. You could just install like a virtual machine and get the Mac on that. But then I don't know how efficient that is because you would be getting a virtual machine, installing. You would have Mac on it. You would be allocating it some memory, and then inside of that allocated memory, you would be allocating another 2 GB to an emulator. I don't know how like efficient that is. Yeah, about 8 gigs of RAM and an SSD. I have 8 gigs, but I don't have an SSD. and he's very hot. I would be happy to. I should do that too. Like it'll save me a lot of time. I think I'll try that, but I don't have an SSD, so it's gonna be super. It might be super slow. So that because this is a huge headache. It's having to try to create workarounds, not using XPath, but trying to use resource IDs and names. It's not very efficient, and it'll give you a lot of issues. Yeah, simulator won't require it. Yep. Since it's not an emulator. Yeah. Okay, so back to her question. You won't be generating expats. I mean, you can generate expat in this, but you would be generate. It's like you would have to figure out. So, for instance, if you want to generate an expat for top stories, right? So where is top stories? Top stories is right here. How would you be creating it? You would say, so this is relative layout. You would copy this. So this is top stories, right? And this is relative layout. So it's under relative layout. Or an easier way, yeah, the easier way is to select this. You see top stories, grab this text and click on and do this. Add find by how is equal to how dot name using top stories. Control V and just create the web element top stories and click on it, and that should work. That's the easy way out, but it's very I wouldn't recommend it, but if you're using a Mac, I would recommend it if you're using Windows for now. Oh, by name, yes, by name. But this won't work, as I was showing you earlier. If you were to navigate, where's the emulator? So if you were, that's not the emulator. Open up the emulator. I did tell him, and well, I don't think he ever ran Appium on Windows. I don't think he did. So if I'm to take a screenshot of this, right? So so I want to access this button. How exactly do I access it? If I try to access it by class, it's not going to click on this. It doesn't work. I tried it. It doesn't have a unique resource ID. It does not have a text. So besides getting the XPath, you don't really have a way to actually click on this button right here. So that's why it's important to know how to get the XPath. Because it does not have a resource ID and the class name won't work. Because there are multiple, I believe there are multiple widget image buttons. Even if there are not, it's not clicking on it. So it's not your workaround. So you would have to grab the XPath here, and that would be Android view.view, and then index 1, then 1// Android widget image button. So if you go back here, it should be this right here. I think there's a 1 inside of this. Yeah, it should be 1. All right, guys, time for questions. Any questions? I need to still figure out how to run Grubhub. It's not running for some reason. New York Post is executing, but not Grubhub. So let me run this again and make sure it's still running. Yep, it's running. So if you already have the app running and you run it from IntelliJ again, it's gonna close the app and then it's gonna run it. And it's gonna go to top stories and it's gonna close down. And it failed. I'm not sure why. Menu widget dot click. Oh, I think I messed up the XPath here. So it's this. Interesting. It's not recognizing the XPath now. Let's go back. Let's take a look. Okay, I think I have enough. Oh, so it says relative layout and image view. Well, no image button yet, so that's fine. Android view and Android image button at 1. Let's run it again. Hmm. So now this was just working and now it's not working. Yeah, everyone. Anyway, I'll figure this out later. So guys, any questions? How to set up, how to get this running, how to write the code. No questions? Yeah, actually, I'm gonna work on my other app. I have a lot of work done on that one. I'm not showing. I'm not sure why it's not running, but it's running this app, but it's not running the other app. So I'm gonna figure that out, and tomorrow's session I'll have a full-on framework for that Grubhub app, and we'll go over it and how to how to automate that. Um, Again, I mean it's a lot of work if you're using Windows. You'll have issues. It's not that easy. I mean, it is easy. It's locating the elements that's a problem. If you can, it would be great if you can install a VM, a virtual machine for Mac, and then you can use that. So I'm gonna post both codes on Hangout, or actually I did post it. I posted it in the chat, right? So it should be in your chat logs. So if you guys want to take a look at the codes I've been using to run the apps or run we did the web automation. If you want to take a look at that, they're both there, and they also contain the templates for if you want to run Maven and if you want to use Jenkins as well. So that's all in there. I think that's it for today. Tomorrow I'll probably have more. Tomorrow we'll probably be just going over a framework, and I'll be creating test cases and creating web elements to show you guys how actually how you would actually create a test case for mobile automation. Uh, but again, it's not going to be anything crazy because there's a lot of issues you'll encounter if you're using again quote unquote. Furqan, can you please Yeah, I can make you organizer. Okay. So that's about it. Let me just make Bilal organizer, and no problem. Bilal, you're organizer now. I believe it.
Thank you. Okay, so let me just bring up my screen. All right, guys. So mainly this is for Sachin because he got this far. Um, so basically, this is how I got all of this is by going in my Appium, and you know what all of this is? Basically, all of this is coming from here. Whatever we will be setting it up, you make sure that all of this is, set up properly. The package and everything, the device that you want it to launch, the platform version and everything. And also, if your platform is 5.0.2, if you see that's the one, that's the thing, you can manually change it from here as well. That should work. So make sure all of this is, it's the way you want it to be, and then you click launch, and then you click stop. Copy everything from here, and just say Appium, as I'm doing over here, Appium space, and just paste it. So once you do that, you will see. There you go. So now it started listening. 0.0.0, that means localhost basically. Okay, so now you go in your Appium. You see it's not running, right? So we click on inspector. So it's doing something in the background. So it's not running, and now it's starting to, run it. Well, basically we're using 1.6.3 server because it's kind of more stable, fixes a lot of bugs, much more, it fixes a lot of bugs. That's why we're using that. The way to use it is you just, instead of you running the launch button over here, instead of you running the server from here, you launch the server from here and use the same server for your inspector. So if the server is running in the background, you should be able to run this inspector. This inspector, when you click this inspector, basically communicates with the local host. So if the server is running in the background, this should work. So you see, no problem, no nothing. Basically is kind of running. Make sure the parameters, the arguments that you're passing, that's the ones that you need. The path and everything is correct. So that's okay because it kind of timed out. It takes a lot of time. Just wait for it to boot up. You'll see in the background it's gonna pass the app as well, the APK. Just wait for it to load. Thank you, Paul. Okay, so I just kind of Googled it. Was looking for something else. I stumbled upon it. So now, you see the AVD is running in the background. You click on the inspector. It's going to try again to push the app. You see over here the APK. This is the unlocker, I think. Yeah, and it's going to give me another error. That's fine. I'm going to try it again, and it should work. It kind of works. Eventually, it will work. For iPhone, it's kind of simple. We don't need to do any of this. We can use the 1.6.3 because I was having issues with Android. So see, Sachin, it's working. With iPhone, it kind of works on its own. I don't have to do all of this. I was having trouble running the NY Post app on Android. The emulator, it wasn't communicating. There was a bunch of issues, so that's why I was looking for solutions, and I kind of found out that we can do this. Now that I found I can use 1.6.3 server, this is exactly what I will be using. I'll just get the parameters from here every time. I set it up. I'll set up my environment, whatever I want to do, and then I launch it, stop it, copy the parameters, and just run it. So now the app is running. I run the inspector again. So yeah, it's because it's not running in the same app. I believe that's why either the inspector is old and the server is new, so the inspector is it's expecting something else. Maybe that's why it keeps on giving you error. So keep on trying that. Every time you're gonna get one step closer, and eventually you'll be able to inspect the elements. It kind of works like a charm. All right. So even to an extent that I'm just gonna close this. I'm not even gonna close my this one, my AVD, and I'm gonna start the test. You'll see it'll run. It's gonna close the app. It's gonna automatically see that the Appium is there. The app is already installed. It's not gonna do anything else. It's just gonna start the test. That's it. It will save a lot of time. Not having to close the emulator, opening it again, and stuff like that. It's because the 1.6.3 is much more sophisticated than 1.5.3. That's why. So you'll see that it should close the app, and for the test, it should since you'll be setting the setup basically method should be responsible for opening a new instance of the drive. Oh, it didn't. Maybe just close it manually. Let's close the app. How? Is this the button? This is the one, I believe. Yes. So what do I do now? Yeah, this one. All right. So okay. So once the app is closed, okay, let's try it again. It kind of worked for me earlier. It stopped the app and then kind of ran it again. Not this one. We don't even need this one. So the GUI version we will only be running if we want to do the inspector. That's it. Other than that, we'll just run it in the terminal. Simulator, it needs a lot of resources. A lot. Oh, that's why. Oh, man. You guys probably can't even hear me properly. Yeah, whatever. Oh. So, if the AVD is running, it should. What happened? Did it fail? Try it. Okay, I didn't even try it. It's just kind of, running low on resources. A lot is running. I should have, closed all the browsers at least, because those browsers alone take a lot of, memory, a lot of resources. So, IntelliJ is still kind of compiling it. Even this takes a lot of resources. I need to quit this. I don't want to do the force quit because it's just gonna restart my computer kind of thing. Kind of logs me out. And did it fail or didn't even run? I don't know. Yeah, okay. Now it's kind of running now. Congrats, Armin. So let's see. So yeah, it's kind of doing something. Oh, it's still kind of filled. I guess I'll have to close it. And new session cannot be okay. Yeah. So basically, it's the way our driver is set up. The driver is kind of trying to set up a new session. So that's why I think this time I'd have to close it. I don't know. It was kind of working then. Okay, let's just try it again. So yeah, see, once I close the emulator, everything's so fast. I'm just gonna close this as well. Yeah, I mean, I got it to work without closing the emulator as well during the day. I don't know why it's asking me to close it now. I don't know. Oh, I don't know why I got muted. Anyways, I mean, with 1.6.3, it kind of knows the session, whether you're running, if it's already running, it's just gonna use that AVD kind of idea. So there are like a bunch of things that you need to understand. The capabilities that you mentioned in your Appium, those are like optional. So the Appium is gonna use, the server is gonna use all those parameters, all those options, all those capabilities if you do not provide it while running your test. So if you provide anything while you're running your test, it's just gonna override it. That's kind of the basic idea. So you see, I mean, I'm not running the GUI version, I'm running the command prompt, so I was able to run the emulator through this, and now it should, install the app. The app is already installed, so it's just gonna, run the app, and it should run the test one by one kind of idea. But again, it's a bit slow because I have a lot of things open at the moment. I mean, during the day when I was doing this, and when I was working on this, I kind of closed everything. Everything was closed. So yeah, it's kind of working out. So running the first test, and yeah, basically get the idea. This work for you, Sachin? Kind of, or still struggling with it?
It's not working. I think something's
Yeah, my first test kind of failed because I am not able to get to about, because you see the index, it's, why is it saying 0? It should say 12 because it does get the first 12 elements. Okay, why it's not working for you, Sachin? Like what error? Like, did you keep on trying, like trying opening the inspector, a couple of times?
Oh no, that worked. I could open the application.
Okay.
Now I have to close the whole thing, right?
Kind of. I think it's because the way our driver is set up. I think for that reason you would kind of have to close it and then run the test, and then it should work. I found there are a lot less errors. It's kind of more stable than the other one. With that one, we were struggling a lot. I mean, it would just work on whenever it would want to work, kind of idea.
Okay, I closed it now. Oh yeah, it's working. It's working.
All right. So yes. So even for me, I kind of changed it. I think I changed my base to what we were doing here was something else. Instead of ad.quit, I think we had something else. I changed. First, I tried using ad.close app. It was working too, but there was some other issue with it. So I changed it to ad.quit. I don't know. I'm not sure what we had previously. Did we have ad.close driver? If that's the thing, then in that case, it's going to close the entire emulator and it's going to open it again. And for now, it's just closing the app, opening the app again, and running the test kind of idea. I don't know why it failed again, but it's mainly because I So yeah, it's just because it's really slow. I think that's what the reason is. So I mean, the computer is kind of slow, and a lot of things are running in the background, so it kind of needs a lot more resources to, you know. Sorry, yeah, go ahead.
He used 80.quit as well.
You did use 80 dot, okay. So I don't know. Perhaps it's how the new 1.6.3 works. It doesn't, you know, closes the AVD. It just closes the app.
Okay.
I was able to, you know, pass a lot of my tests during the day. The only ones that were failing were the ones that for which I wasn't able to, you know, navigate. The ones that are uh, I just couldn't locate, for which I had to scroll.
This is great. I mean, wow.
It is better, right?
Way better than
Yeah, that one was, you know, crashing all the time or something.
because they if you have to run from like the beginning, it takes at least 5 minutes to load everything.
At
Now it
least.
does not take that. Yeah.
So you see, I have the app running and I'm trying it again. Now it should kind of close the app and open the app again and run the test kind of idea. I think so. Yes. So you see the app closed. So it's still doing the setup. It's doing the setup. And it opened the app. I didn't have to close the emulator. I didn't have to turn it on again. Uh, so
Oh.
kind of working fine. You know, during the day, I would run the test. I would go back to inspector, then I would run the test again. I mean, it was working really nice.
I think it's doing for me too now. Yeah. I didn't have to close it.
Again, this I think it kind of is failing for me because I don't have a lot of resources. It kind of that may be another reason. I just have to, you know, close a bunch of programs, and then it would be you know, a lot better because
Yeah, it's working now.
it is doing something. It's just, you know, the errors are random. I mean, that's usually the case when, you know, we're kind of running out of resources. All right.
Yeah, it's not closing the whole emulator, right? Like you said, it's just
Yes.
closing the app and that's it.
Yes.
Before it used to be the whole emulator. Yeah,
I think for
that's true.
that, if you want to do it, you would be doing driver close ad dot close driver. I think that's the one if you want to close the emulator and then run it again kind of idea.
Uh,
But yeah, it is so much better.
you could use that. You could actually do multiple tests without like closing the
Yes.
whole.
Yes.
That's yeah.
All right, so that's all I wanted to show. If you have any questions, you can always, you know, refer to Furqan. It's a session. I'd let him answer the questions. Or did he leave?
Furqan is
That
left.
guy, man, he left already. What a guy. Sneaky. All right, I guess that's it. I mean, all right, I'll answer any question. Do you guys have any questions? I hope not. No? All right,
No, we're
that's
done.
great. Yeah. So I'm just gonna close the session, guys. Hopefully you'll have a lot of questions by tomorrow for Furqan. A
Uh-huh.
lot. So, you know, gather all the questions, guys. And so just, you know, whatever questions you have, just, you know, ask him tomorrow. Because day after tomorrow, you should not have any questions because that is when I'll be doing my session. And, all right, guys. Thank you so much, and thank you, Furqan. You're not here. You know, still thank
Thank
you
you.
for doing the session, and I'll see you guys tomorrow. All right, man. Everyone, have a good night.
Good night.